Welcome to the Meegan Show, featuring Meegan.
Welcome to our new Saturday, it's Sunday. Welcome to our new Sunday segment. This is gonna be like maybe things you've seen before. I know weekly wrap-up shows are a thing that people do and they're done well and probably better than this, but I have some things I'd love to share with you guys, and I think Sundays are the perfect time to do them. I have enough time to edit and upload on the same day, and you guys get something weekly from me that you can depend on, hopefully. That's the goal. I've come up with a list of 4 segments I want to cover in the very first episode of this Sunday show. Number 1, Hot Mess Moment of the Week, which is actually from 2 weeks ago, but it is too good to pass up. I passed out by myself downtown in the middle of the day. No alcohol involved. You want to know how? Yeah, I gave blood, and I didn't eat a big lunch, and the guy who was trying to take my blood was decidedly trying to take his break and not paying any fucking attention. And my blood clotted before they filled the bag, and none of my blood was even usable. Great fucking hot mess moment. Then I take my fucking apple juice because I'm so mad about it, and I walk myself out of the trailer, and I call my fiance, and I like, hey, I'm on my way, I'm done. And then I start feeling woozy, my tunnel vision starts happening. I've passed out before, I know exactly what that looks like. And you know what I did? I sat down against the building, and now I sat with my knees tucked up against my chest, and when I woke up, I was literally like flailed out against the building, like my legs were sticking straight out in front of me in like weird directions. I passed out in a metro area by myself after giving blood. Granted, it was a good area. It was at this really nice apartment complex. In fact, I was like, oh, I know what I need to do after this. Go to the nearest restaurant. Well, now the nearest restaurant is a sushi place. And the most expensive sushi place on that block, apparently. They cost me $30 just to get my blood sugar in check and move on with my life. I wish that giving blood was not a horrible experience, because I've done it before, and honestly I've had great experiences before. This one was just not one of them. And now I'm like really nervous to do it again, especially on my own. And I don't like travel with a herd of people. Like, I have things to do and places to go. I can't like have my trusty sidekick with me all the time to make sure I'm not passing out by myself against buildings. I don't know. Tell me guys what you guys think. What would you have done in this situation? I mean, I literally was maybe out for 10 seconds or less because I tried to call John, he answered, and then like I had stopped talking, so he called me back. By the time he called me back, I was awake. So it was like 10 or less seconds. Have hurt me or anything bad to have happened, but still not a great thing. Yeah, still not the scariest thing I've done in my life. More on that sometime in the deep, deep future. Okay, I want to talk next about a segment which I'm going to call Meme of the Week. And I'm well aware that my normal viewers and subscribers are a bit older than probably people who view memes regularly. In fact, you may not even know what a meme is. And don't feel like I'm going to try and explain it because I'm probably going to mess it up. But a meme is just a fun little thing that makes you laugh. According to me, that's my definition. Anyway, Meme of the Week is Tom Hanks as Harambee dicks out this fall. So if you don't know about this dicks out for Harambee thing, it was started on Twitter, I believe. I watched a video about how it evolved into this massive movement that it is. I mean, obviously the Harambee shooting was a terrible thing, and yeah, but now this meme movement has sort of become just like a constant reminder of how the internet can blow things out of proportion. And I will link the video about that I watched below. But I just think Tom Hanks in a movie about Harambee and then like dicks out this fall just like made me laugh so hard. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, give this video a thumbs up. So I don't know if you guys are big fans of Comedy Central, but I could live and die by Comedy Central. 80% of their repertoire is like stuff I live and breathe by. And you're watching a comedy show that most of the time is silly and just fucked, and then all of a sudden they'll just make this extremely poignant point about something. Yes, that happened for me this week in the latest episode of Another Period. If you haven't checked out Another Period, it is basically a parody of like what we would call a Jane Austen period, and they just tackle so many issues. This particular episode and what I'm referring to, Albert Einstein is involved. He comes in and you realize something about a character, and it's just so interesting, and you really think about how human relationships have developed over time, what classes and roles meant, and how that would play out using a modern dialogue rather than the type of dialogue that they used before. It's very interesting. I really recommend it. Not all of their episodes are as wonderful and poignant as this last week's episode, but I still recommend both seasons, all of it. I love it. It's good stuff. The next thing I want to talk about, and hopefully for this segment I may become its own video series, I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think of it. There is a whole world out there on YouTube called Booktube. They are a group, probably millions, I don't know, at least thousands of people who vlog about their book reading, give extremely good reading advice, will give you non-spoiler book reviews on new things that they've read. Let's backtrack for a second. I don't know how many people know about this, but it seems like every time I mention it to somebody, there's at least one person in the group who had no idea, and this blows their mind, and I think it's really, really important for everyone to know. Did you know most cities have library systems where you can rent both audiobooks and like Kindle style books for free and get them on your phone, your tablet, your computer? You can basically rent them. And they're free. Typically the libraries will license a certain number of books and they still have to be rotated in and out like a library book, so only 12 people can be reading it at a time if they only have 12 licenses of that digital copy. And then once someone else relinquishes, basically the link expires and you can no longer access it. Someone else is going to be able to read it. So I love this. This has revolutionized reading for me because I am so busy. I have a 45 to hour-minute commute every day. I listen to audiobooks constantly and I love them, and I get about 80% of them from the library, and I get about 20% of them from Audible, and I just go through them so quickly. I really recommend it. If your city has one, you can go to the library, they can tell you how to use it. I don't know about smaller towns, sorry guys, I honestly don't know. I know that Louisville, Kentucky has one, and I know that Indianapolis, Indiana has one because I've used both of theirs, and they both are exactly the same platform, so I'm not sure how broad that is. Anyway, I encourage you guys to look into that because it's so, so cool and so, so free, and who doesn't love cool, free knowledge? Nobody. Everybody loves that shit. Okay, back to the book we're going to talk about this week, which I listened to, and let me just say, this book isn't revolutionary. It's not going to change your life. Is it really interesting and amazing? Definitely. So there's a book that's been recently written as a modern telling of Pride and Prejudice. It's a novel by Curtis Sittenfeld. It's got a 3.7 on Goodreads and a 3.9 out of 5 on at Barnes & Noble. I agree with those scores. If you love Pride and Prejudice, you love Jane Austen, that's an important thing to you, go and read this book. I recommend it. Is it going to revolutionize your thought process about the American culture? No. Is it interesting and lovely to hear this story retold modernly? Yes. Do they slap stereotypes onto these characters like nobody's business just to make it more modern and edgy? Absolutely. I think that maybe is the worst thing. They're trying to cover so many platforms and so many topics that they're just like slapping stereotypes onto individuals. And I don't love that. But they did break up some of the characters in an interesting way. They did tell the stories in an interesting way. I think the stakes aren't quite as high in some situations just because things don't matter that much in society anymore, and the book tries to get it to that level, but I think it fails in some places. But I super, super recommend it. Check out Eligible. The next book I'm going to talk about, which I'm currently in the process of listening to, and just as a side note, I know many, many people out there are going to disagree with me, but I love female stand-up comics. I have read almost every single one of their Amy Poehler. I've read some of Ellen DeGeneres'. I've read Tina Fey's. I have read them all, and I will continue to read them. And so Amy Schumer has just come out with her book. I haven't finished it yet, and her audiobook is read by the author. That's the thing I love, love, love about listening to female stand-up books, is that they always narrate them, and they always narrate them the best because it's their own words, and they're just incredible. But hers is called The Girl with the Lower Back Tattoo, and so far I'm just loving that she's humanized herself so hardcore, and she's definitely moved way away from the sexualness of her comedy, but she's also kind of inching back towards it. So I'll let you know how that book goes as I get closer to it. If you guys have any recommendations for me, I would love that. I've also read Grace Helbig's newest book, but I haven't read her first one just because I can't really accept her as a brunette yet. I'm trying. Let me know what you guys think. I am always looking for suggestions. Thanks for watching and tuning in. I don't know how this is gonna do, but I'm hopeful to see, like, I want to hear everyone's thoughts and reactions to everything. If you have a meme of the week that you'd like to share or something that you'd like me to cover next week, I would love to do that. Thank you guys. Good night.